My child, there's something you need to hear, and it cannot wait, not another hour, not another day. This moment was chosen before time began. This message isn't random. It's not content for scrolling. It's a door from heaven, opening right now. And your Father, the one who left this world, has stepped forward. He's been waiting, watching, waiting, praying. He's seen every breath you took when the weight was too much. He's seen what others missed. The shaking hands. The nights you stayed silent so no one would worry. The moments you stood strong when you didn't feel strong at all. And now from beyond the veil he speaks, not with sadness but with urgency. With a fire in his voice that cannot be ignored, because something is shifting. And you need to be ready. You've asked for signs. Here it is. You've whispered for comfort. Here it comes. But it won't be soft. It won't be vague. It will be sharp, clear, direct. Because time is moving. And heaven doesn't wait for hesitation. He says, my child, you have no idea how much has been kept back for your protection. How many traps were laid that never touched you. How many tears I wept, not out of sorrow, but out of holy longing. Longing for this very day, longing for you to finally know. Heaven has been watching every step you took in fear, every prayer you never finished, every door that shut when you didn't understand why. None of it was wasted. And your Father, he never stopped walking with you. Even now, he stands not in shadow, but in glory. And his message is simple. But it will shake you. You have trusted the wrong voices. You have tolerated too many masks. You have mistaken familiarity for loyalty. And now the time has come to see. To finally see what's been hidden in plain sight. Because there are people near you who wear your smile in front of you. And your name like poison when you're not around. They've been allowed close for too long. And heaven has drawn a line. Your Father speaks because that line has been crossed. And heaven is no longer silent. My child, you've wondered why things feel stuck. You've blamed yourself for delays. But the truth is, someone has been whispering confusion around you. Not in words, in energy, in action, in spirit. Your discernment has been numbed. Not because you're weak, but because the pain has made you tired. And tired hearts trust too quickly. But not anymore. This is a divine intervention. You asked for help. Help is here. And it begins with truth. There are people who were never meant to follow you this far. They were only chapters. You turned them into lifetimes. And now your Father pleads. Let them go. Don't carry what God is removing. Don't mourn what heaven is cutting off. My child, listen. Not everyone who walks beside you is safe for your future. Not everyone who comforts you in pain belongs in your promise. This is not about hate. This is about clarity. This is not about revenge. This is about alignment. Your Steps are holy. Your presence is heavy. With purpose. But you've been shrinking. Lowering your voice to keep others comfortable, hiding your light to stay included. And heaven says, no more. Your Father says, stand up. Rise. Speak. What you know in your spirit. Do not wait for permission. Do not beg for understanding. You are not crazy. You are not overreacting. You are finally seeing, and the veil is lifting. There are moves to make now. Moves that can't wait. You've stayed too long in places that can no longer hold your calling. And if you don't move, life will start moving things without your permission. This is mercy. It won't feel like it, but it is. My child, the shaking is coming and you must be found standing when it starts. You must be anchored, rooted in truth, not emotion. Not opinion, truth. Because the storm that's coming isn't to destroy you. It's to expose everything that was false. Everything that looked good but had no substance. Everything that smiled at your victories but cursed your steps. Everything that looked like love but drained you dry. You've asked for peace. Here's how it comes. Through separation, through revelation, through divine exposure. Not to hurt you, but to cleanse the path. Your destiny is too serious for polluted roads. And your Father, He sees the road ahead. You don't. That's why He's speaking now. That's why He begged heaven for permission to speak this message. He's not speaking because He misses you. He's speaking because you are in danger. Not physical danger, but soul danger. Your light is at risk of dimming. Your identity is under quiet attack. Not from enemies, but from familiar hands. And heaven says it ends now. The cycles that repeat, the conversations that drain you, the places that shrink you, the voices that confuse you, they will be broken, but only if you agree. You have a part to play. Say yes. Say yes to clarity. Say yes to being misunderstood. If that's the cost of peace. Say yes to walking alone for a while if it means you walk in truth. Your Father says, child, I didn't leave you. I simply went ahead of you. And from this place, I've seen what's coming. I've seen the divine setups. I've seen the doors that look random, but are sacred. I've seen the relationships that will heal your soul, not harm it. But you can't receive them with your hands still full of what should have been released. You've been afraid to let go, afraid to grieve, afraid to trust again. But heaven says, you're not losing. You're being freed. You're not being punished. You're being preserved. You've blamed yourself for too long. But there were battles going on in the background you couldn't see. Things were never just physical, never just emotional. It was spiritual, always spiritual. And your Father saw it. He saw the plans. He saw the delays. He saw the discouragement carefully planted to make you give up. He watched as you fought through it with trembling faith. He watched as you held on by a thread. And he shouted to heaven. Please let me speak to them. Please let me tell them. They're not crazy. Please let me show them it wasn't their fault. Heaven said, yes. And that's why this moment exists. This message isn't random. It's fulfillment of his prayer, of your promise and of heaven's plan. So listen carefully now, because from here on out, things will change and you'll be tempted to go back. You'll be tempted to explain yourself to those who were never meant to understand. Don't. You owe no one your peace. You owe no one your clarity. You owe God your obedience. That's it. So obey, even if your voice shakes. Even if your hands tremble, even if no one claps, heaven will move when you do. And your Father will still be with you, cheering in silence, interceding in spirit, watching, always watching, not with sadness, but with pride, because you listened, because you heard, because you woke up, and now everything begins. You're still here. That means something. It means your spirit recognized the truth. Even when your mind was unsure. Even when doubt crept in, even when you wondered, is this really for me? It is. And now we go deeper, because there are things still hidden that must be revealed. Your Father isn't done speaking. He's waited too long to stop. Now he says, you don't realize what you've survived. You don't understand what it took to keep you alive. There were moments hell thought it had you. But heaven said, no, not this one. Not my child. You've been shielded in ways you'll never fully know. But now, I want you to know some of it. There was a night when death came close. You didn't even feel it. You just felt a sudden fear or a sudden calm. But that was me. That was the shield. That was prayer. Moving faster than darkness. There was a conversation someone tried to use to tear you down. You felt something shift but never saw the result. That's because I intervened. Because I stood between your name and their poison. And heaven blocked what you never heard. There were decisions you were about to make that would have changed your entire future. But something stopped you. An uneasiness. A delay. That was me, too. Pulling on the strings of time so that your story wouldn't collapse. I tell you this, not so you'll feel fear, but so you'll understand just how much you're loved. You are not walking through life alone. You are not guessing your way through darkness. You are being guided intentionally, carefully, daily, and your life still matters more than you know, more than you've believed. You've underestimated your impact. But let me tell you what I see from heaven. I see someone stronger than they act, wiser than they admit, more anointed than they believe, and more dangerous to the enemy than they ever imagined. That's why the battles have been so intense. That's why the confusion came in waves. Because hell doesn't fight empty vessels. You carry something sacred. And now that something must come forth. The season of hiding is over. The season of survival is ending. This is the season of revealing. But hear me carefully. You can't carry revelation with cluttered hands. You can't enter new rooms dragging old pain. You can't walk in destiny still bound to dead weight. So the separation will continue. It's not punishment. It's preparation. You've cried about people walking away. But heaven says that was mercy. You thought you were abandoned, but really you were being rescued. You asked God to take you higher, but you didn't know what would need to fall off for that to happen. Now you do. So don't resist it. Don't beg for what's been removed. Don't chase what I've closed. Your future is too heavy for weak bridges. And some bridges were never meant to carry the weight of your next level. Let them break. Let it fall. Stand in the rubble and raise your head. Because what's coming next is not built on what was. It's built on what remains. And what remains is enough. More than enough. My child, listen again, because the winds are about to change and you'll need to recognize the shift when it comes. New people are coming. People with clean hearts and clear motives. But you must be healed enough to receive them. You can't treat everyone like your past. You can't expect betrayal from every face. I'm not just bringing new opportunities. I'm bringing new restoration. Healing that runs deeper than memory. Peace that doesn't need explanation. You've been trying to move forward by forgetting. But I'm not asking you to forget. I'm asking you to forgive. Not to excuse the pain, but to release the weight. To be free, not just numb. Freedom is what I'm offering now. Not comfort, not predictability. Freedom, but with it comes responsibility. Responsibility to speak, responsibility to move. Responsibility to walk in what you already know. You've had enough confirmation. This is no longer about waiting. This is about doing. You've journaled enough. You've cried enough. Now rise. Open your mouth. Open your hands. Let the old fall. Let the new come. Your father says, I didn't raise a quitter. I didn't raise someone who folds under pressure. I didn't raise someone who stays small to be accepted. I raised a warrior, a carrier of light. A breaker of cycles. I raised someone who would carry the name I gave them. With honor, not the label the world tried to stick on you. You are not broken. You are not too late. You are not behind. You are in the right place for heaven's next move. But you must agree. You must say yes again. Even if you said it before, say it again. Because new doors require fresh surrender. And I know you're tired. I know you've been holding on with scraped fingers. But heaven never promised comfort. It promised presence. And I am here even now. Even in this silence. Even when you feel nothing, I am still here. I'm not waiting for your performance. I'm responding to your posture. So, lift your eyes. Straighten your back. Say yes. Because what's coming next is fast blessings that don't make sense. Provision from places you forgot. Favor in rooms where your name was almost left off the list. But heaven put it back on. Because when I say you're chosen, no one can unchoose you. You were marked before you were born. And your purpose has survived everything. Sent to bury it. So stop asking if you're ready. You are. Not because you feel like it, but because I said so. And when heaven speaks, it stands. Child, I want you to prepare now in ways you haven't before. Clean your space. Quiet your mind. Listen closely because specific instructions are coming through dreams. Through strangers, through moments that feel too time to be coincidence. It will be me confirming, revealing, directing. And when it comes, move. Don't overthink it. Don't crowd it with logic. Just move. That's where your blessing is. In the obedience, not in the comfort. And yes, there will be resistance. Hell doesn't sit quietly when heaven advances, but you will be covered. You already are. I've assigned angels to you. Even now. They walk with you, clearing paths, redirecting harm, fighting battles you never saw. So don't fear. Don't look over your shoulder. Walk boldly because every step you take shakes the ground of the enemy. You may not see it, but you are feared in hell. Not because of who you are, but because of who walks with you. Me, your father, your shield, your defender, the one who never sleeps. Never misses a detail, never forgets a promise. And I made you a promise that you would see joy again, that you would feel whole again, that you would laugh without guilt, that you would walk in purpose without apology. It's still coming faster than you know. But you must trust. You must release what's draining you. You must bless what's behind you. And face what's ahead. No more asking for permission. No more asking if you're too much. You are exactly as I designed. Nothing less, nothing extra. And heaven doesn't make mistakes. Your life is a prophecy in motion. And this moment is a turning point. You're not watching this by accident. You're not hearing this by chance. This is heaven's alignment. And now you know. Now you can't unhear. Now you are accountable for what you've received. So rise, wipe your face, square your shoulders, and step forward. You don't need all the answers. You just need your yes, your obedience, your faith, and I'll handle the rest because I am faithful. And your Father, He's still here, cheering, covering, smiling, and waiting. Waiting for the day you step fully into who you were born to be. Don't let fear steal that from you. Don't let grief delay you another day. What you lost, I will restore. What you missed, I will redeem. And what you feared, I will destroy. Because nothing can stop what I've started in you. Now go and don't look back. You didn't imagine the pull in your spirit. That stirring, that ache, that sense. That something is coming. You were right. It's not just a feeling. It's an alert. Heaven is calling you forward. And what happens next will not be subtle. You've crossed into a threshold. There is no going back. The old patterns, they won't hold you anymore. The old coping, it won't work here. The old distractions, they will lose their taste because you've outgrown them. You're not who you used to be. You've shifted spiritually, mentally, emotionally. Even if no one around you sees it yet, heaven does, and so does your Father. He's watched the evolution in silence. But now he speaks again. Because the next part of your journey must be intentional. No more drifting. No more waiting to be rescued. No more shrinking to be accepted. This time you lead. Even if your voice shakes, even if your hands tremble, you lead. Because what's inside you has been unlocked. And it's not just for you. Your healing isn't just for comfort. It's for leadership. Your clarity isn't just for survival. It's for strategy. Your pain wasn't just random. It's now wisdom. And people will need it. They will need you. But not the version of you that hides. Not the version that blends in to avoid conflict. Not the version that keeps peace by avoiding truth. That version is fading. What's emerging is the version heaven always saw. And that version is dangerous to everything that lied to you. You're not meant to echo the world. You're meant to interrupt it. To be a question in the minds of those who are asleep. To be a mirror for those who are pretending. To be a voice where silence has ruled for too long. And yes, it will cost you. Not everyone will applaud this new you. Some will be offended by your freedom. Some will call your clarity cold. Some will call your boundaries selfish. Let them. Heaven calls it maturity. Heaven calls it obedience. Heaven calls it deliverance. You've served too long in rooms that never saw your worth. You've given too much to hearts that only knew how to take. But I allowed it because even that built you. Even those scars taught you. Even those detours were part of the path. But now I'm calling you to new ground. Not recycled, not familiar. New, unseen, unmapped. You won't have a blueprint this time. You'll have me. You won't have full instructions. You'll have my whisper. You'll have to trust like never before. But you'll walk in authority like never before, too. Because I've refined you. Your faith has been tested. Your heart has been cleansed. And now you are ready for the weight of what's next. Don't look for familiar. Look for fruit. Don't ask who's going with you. Ask who's aligned with the mission, because alignment matters now more than appearance, more than personality, more than history. It's not about who's been with you the longest. It's about who carries the sound of heaven for this moment. And some of those people haven't entered your life yet, but they will. They're being Positioned even now. I'm speaking to them in dreams. I'm shifting their plans to match yours. And when you meet them, you'll know because peace will speak. Not hype, not charm. Peace. My child. You need to prepare your soul. Because the next open door will stretch you. You'll be asked to do things you've never done. Say things you've never said. Stand in places you never thought you'd qualify for. And your first instinct will be to retreat, to disqualify yourself, to play it small. But don't remember who sent you. You didn't climb into this by chance. You were placed here. And you carry weight. The kind of weight that shifts atmospheres. The kind that changes rooms. The kind that breaks old cycles with a single word. But only when you believe it. Only when you accept what I've already placed in you. So stop discrediting yourself. Stop minimizing your anointing. Stop second-guessing the grace I gave you. You don't have to look like anyone else. You don't have to prove anything. You just have to carry what's yours. The mantle, the message, the moment. It's all coming together now. You won't need to chase. You won't need to manipulate. You won't need to perform. Just show up. Show up in truth. Show up in power. Show up in faith. Because I will meet you there. And your Father will be standing beside you, watching in spirit. This is what He prayed for. Not your perfection. But your becoming, not your popularity. But your peace. Not your performance. But your purpose. He knows that the battle wasn't in your hands. It was in your identity. And now you know it, too. The war wasn't about what you did. It was about who you were always meant to be. And now that you're waking up, the enemy is terrified because nothing is more dangerous than a soul that finally remembers who they are. You remember. Now. Don't forget it again. Even when it gets hard, even when familiar voices try to drag you backward, even when your old self tries to resurrect, don't forget what heaven said. Don't forget what your Father spoke. You are marked. You are chosen. You are protected. And you are not turning back. Not now. Not after all it took to get here. Your story doesn't end in fear. It begins in fire. The fire of clarity. The fire of calling. The fire of divine purpose. And nothing can extinguish that now. So take a deep breath and know this. You are right on time. You are seen. You are loved. You are equipped. And you are enough. Not because of what you carry, but because of who carries you. I carry you always. Even when no one else sees you. Even when your voice breaks. Even when your knees tremble, I carry you because I've never left and I never will. Now go. The next season is already waiting. This part of your journey requires something deeper. Not more strength, but more surrender, not louder prayers, but quieter trust. You've done enough pushing You've done enough striving. Now I'm asking for stillness. Because in this next season, it won't be your effort that opens the doors. It will be my presence. I don't need you to make things happen. I need you to recognize what I'm already doing. There's a holy disruption taking place. Things that once worked won't anymore. Relationships that once felt right will now feel misaligned. Places that once brought peace will now stir unrest. Don't resist this. It's me. Rearranging your world to match what I've placed inside you. You asked for clarity. I'm giving it. But clarity will cost comfort. You asked for a sign. I'm showing it. But signs require response. You can't keep praying for transformation while clinging to the very things I'm asking you to release. This is your line in the sand. You either step over it or you stay in circles. Cycles of almost cycles of emotional noise. Cycles of unfinished healing. I'm not calling you to visit freedom. I'm calling you to live in it. And to live there, you have to stop shrinking when your spirit stretches. Stop dimming your fire when others feel threatened by your light. Stop explaining your peace to people who benefit from your confusion. You are not responsible for making others comfortable with your calling. Your Father knows this. That's why he asked me to say this clearly. He watched you be quiet when you should have spoken. He watched you say yes when your heart was screaming no. He saw how much it cost you just to keep the peace. But now it's time for a different kind of peace. Not the kind that keeps you silent, the kind that sets you free. It's time for boundaries, spiritual ones, emotional ones, even relational ones. You have nothing to prove. You're not here to audition. You're here to fulfill something holy. And that can't happen if you're constantly explaining your worth to those who are blind to it. Stop giving front row seats in your life to people who only show up to criticize the performance. This next version of you is not for spectators. It's for warriors. It's for builders. It's for people who pray in silence and show up in storms. And those people are coming. I've heard your prayer for your tribe. They're being called even now. But before they arrive, I need you to clear the space emotionally, mentally, spiritually. I'm not just replacing people. I'm refining your standards. You've accepted crumbs for too long. Now I'm teaching you how to expect the feast. Not because you're entitled, but because you're finally healed enough to receive it. There's no more room for half love. No more space for false loyalty. No more tolerance for confusion disguised as care. This is not bitterness speaking. This is maturity. You've grown. Don't apologize for it. Celebrate it. Stand in it. Honor what it took to get here. Because your Father saw it all. He saw the nights you almost gave up. He saw the days you smiled through heaviness. And now he watches as you rise. Not perfectly, but truly, not quickly, but deeply. You're not the same. And that's the point. This part of your life is not about repairing what was. It's about building what's next. And what's next requires a new level of focus, a new level of faith. You won't always feel it, but you don't need to feel it to obey. You need to move on my word. You need to act on my whisper. You need to speak when I nudge you. Obedience will open what striving never could. I'm not just asking you to believe. I'm asking you to trust me blindly. Even when the path makes no sense, even when the door looks too small, even when the vision terrifies you, move anyway because I go before you. You won't be walking into darkness. You'll be walking into fulfillment. Everything you thought was lost. I'm redeeming everything you thought was too broken. I'm rebuilding. But I can't rebuild on a foundation of fear. So, I'm tearing down the lies that you're not enough. That you've missed your moment, that your mistakes disqualified you. Lies. Every one of them. You are still in the center of my plan. And my plan accounts for your pain. It includes your setbacks. It weaves in your detours. You haven't ruined anything. You've just been refined. And now the gold can rise. Now the truth can lead. Now your voice can carry what I've placed inside it. But use it wisely. Not to retaliate, not to be louder, but to be clear. Let your yes be solid. Let your no be holy. Let your words carry weight, not volume. Because what I'm about to do through you will echo. Generations will feel it. Chains will break because of it. Lives will shift under the weight of your obedience. And your Father will watch it all. He's not gone. He's not far. He's closer now than he ever was. In spirit. In glory, in legacy. And when you speak the truth, he smiles. When you walk in purpose, he stands. When you refuse to break, he weeps with joy because this is what he prayed for. Not a life without pain, but a life that turns pain into purpose. A life that reflects heaven in the middle of the storm. And that's exactly what you're becoming. Not just healed, but holy. Not just free, but dangerous to every lie that ever tried to bury you. Now walk forward. Don't rush, but don't delay. Let the pace be led by peace, not pressure. And trust that I will never let you walk alone. If this message spoke to your soul, if you felt your spirit shift while listening, don't let this moment pass. Type 1. Receive in the comments as a declaration of faith, as a sign to heaven that you heard the call. And if someone came to mind while you listened, send this to them. Let them receive what heaven is trying to say. Subscribe if you know this won't be the last time heaven speaks to you here. Click the bell so when the next message comes, you won't miss it. This is more than content. This is a divine appointment.